You know that feeling, right? That pull between taking the easy road versus the one that's, well, a whole lot harder but promises something more? Today we are diving into a really powerful parable that gets right to the heart of that choice, a decision between a life of comfortable security and the glorious, even painful struggle toward becoming everything you could be.
And believe me, the stakes are as high as they get. This isn't just some casual chat. It's described as a cosmic wager, and the battlefield, well, that's the human soul itself. It really sets an epic, almost mythic tone for the encounter we're about to break down.
So, picture this. We're at a lonely crossroads. The sky is kind of bruised and dark. One path is smooth, paved, easy. It leads to the warm, glowing lights of a peaceful city. The other path? It's a mess. It's a treacherous, rocky trail that disappears up a mountain, getting hammered by a storm. And right here, at this junction, two figures meet, each one a living symbol of these two completely different ways of life.
Okay, so this is where it all kicks off. This is the first part of the story, the initial showdown. A wager made not really with words, but with the very choices these two figures have made, right here at the crossroads of existence. The first character we meet is the last man. He's sitting on a comfortable bench, and his voice is just calm, pleasant, totally reasonable. He sees this weary traveler coming down from the mountain, and, he makes him an offer. He invites him to escape all that pain, to come enjoy a life of warmth, security, and peace. But the traveler, our other figure, the ascendant, he doesn't see this offer as a kindness at all. To him, it's a threat. And his reply is just immediate and so intense. He completely reframes the offer. Comfort isn't peace, he says. It's a kind of spiritual death. He calls it a beautiful cage. You can imagine the last man's serene smile kind of wavering a bit. He's clearly thrown by this rejection of his whole worldview. And it pushes him to defend not just his city, but the entire philosophy that built it. So let's dig into what we could call his gospel of comfort. His argument is pretty simple, actually. He says his city is the ultimate fix for all of life's pain. We've made the world small, he says. See, by never wanting anything they can't have, they're never disappointed. It's a world that's been saved from what he calls the foolishness of striving. All right, so let's really break down his philosophy here. This slide nails the three core ideas of his whole creed. First, security is everything. The top goal is just to avoid risk and suffering. Second, the big virtue is contentment. You're wise if all you want is a pleasant, easy life. And finally, number three, a total rejection of striving. Big dreams and ambitions, he sees them as just foolish, unnecessary burden. But the ascendant, well, he comes back with a powerful counter-philosophy. And it's not small or safe at all. It's a grand, dangerous, and honestly a pretty thrilling vision for what humanity is really all about. You can almost hear the storm in his voice as he speaks. He doesn't just disagree. He flat out accuses the last man of preaching the damnation of the human spirit. He says that City of Comfort isn't a destination. It's a complete and total surrender. And this brings us to his incredible central metaphor. For the ascendant, humanity isn't some fixed thing we've arrived at. No, it's a perilous bridge, like a tightrope stretched over a massive abyss. We're always in between what we are right now and what we could become. And here's the kicker. To stand still, to seek that unconditional rest the last man loves so much, that's like letting go of the rope. You fall. The only way is forward, across the rope. But the last man, he's not buying it. And he comes back with a counter-argument that really adds a fascinating twist to this whole debate, one that forces us to really think about what work even means. The last man just scoffs, right? He says, "Still, I am not still. We are working harder than ever. We're filling our homes, securing our futures. I'm exhausted from all my efforts." And this is such a great point, because it presents this amazing paradox. How can you be constantly busy, working yourself to the bone, but at the same time be going absolutely nowhere? And wow, the ascendant's answer to this is just brilliant. He calls this state a corrupted frenzy. He says that natural human drive to strive, to build, to achieve, it hasn't been destroyed in the last man's world. It's been hijacked. It's been rerouted into a meaningless hamster wheel. Just an endless chase for more stuff, more comfort, more security, a chase that makes mediocrity feel productive. So, what's the real difference between these two kinds of effort? This table breaks it down perfectly. The last man's work is like a spinning top, A whole lot of frantic energy, but it's fixed to one spot, just spinning in place. Its goal is aimed downward, toward just holding on to what it has. The ascendance path, on the other hand, is like an arrow in flight. It's purposeful energy, aimed outward and upward, toward the sky of potential. One creates a cage, the other creates a bridge.
And this, right here, brings us to the real heart of it all. This parable isn't just a story about two imaginary figures. It's a mirror. It's reflecting a choice that every single one of us has to face in our own lives. Here it is, the Ascendant's final, inspiring call to action. He says the goal isn't to find a safe place to hide. The purpose, the actual meaning of your life, is found in that perilous flight of the arrow itself, in the struggle, in the journey toward becoming who you could be.
So his philosophy isn't just some abstract idea. It's an active 3-step process. You start by embracing that deep feeling inside you that says there has to be more than just comfort. Then you take that longing and you forge it into a powerful, creative will. And finally, you make that perilous crossing yourself. You become the arrow.
But in the end, the last man just shakes his head. He says, "It's a beautiful poem, but it's a recipe for pain. I choose peace." And with that, he turns and walks toward his city. The Ascendant watches him go for a moment, then turns his back on the city, faces the mountain, and continues his hard climb right back into the storm. The wager is never really resolved between them.
And so the choice gets passed on to us. The final provocative question this story leaves us with isn't, are you busy or are you working hard? I mean, let's be honest, we're all exhausted. The real question is your effort a spinning top, just digging you deeper into a comfortable hole? Or is it an arrow in flight? Where is your arrow aimed?